Game of Thrones tarot card of the day. So, but hey, listen, I got some criticism, and so let me respond to that criticism first. So one was from, if you start doing anything with tarot, you gotta expect some sort of critical reaction or response from people who are like rationally minded. I also got some criticism from like on behalf of tarot readers. So I'll respond to like rationally minded guy first, right? So do I believe that I can tell that the cards will somehow mystically arrange themselves in such a way that I can predict the fortune? It's a set of cards. They can't think. Well, maybe they can. But here's the thing. Rationally minded people, remember this. Your brain is a prediction engine. It's built, well, evolved, read Darwin, please. It's evolved to predict the future, hence the great survival value of the brain. It's an organ, like all other organs, subject to evolution. Think about it. Okay, no, but seriously, this is what your brain is built to do. And if you think that only your rational mind is capable of predicting the future, well, then it's a really strange thing that all the not so rational animals out there actually survive, isn't it? Okay, so that's for the rationally minded people. Now, from the people who like tarot and so on, I got this feedback which was open to interpretation, but my take on it was that basically someone out there took my little videos with the Game of Thrones tarot to be an insult to all tarot readers. And it's not intended in that way, but here is the thing. So I'm approaching this thing. I don't consider myself a tarot reader. I just approach this from a very, very different mindset, right? And I think it should be okay to approach it from whatever mindset you like. It's like that. So live and let live. But that's basically it. So today's card, right? And just to make it a little bit more interesting, imagine that this card will tell you about your destiny during the next 24 hours. And as you imagine that this card will tell you about your destiny during the next 24 hours, make very specific predictions as to what might happen. What do you believe that the card is actually telling you about the next 24 hours? So this is your mission, while I just talk and explain a little bit about the card. Anyway, so let's see. So, okay, this is an interesting card. Three of Swords, Three of Hearts. I almost said, but obviously it's Three of Swords. And so, if you're familiar with Solabusca, if you're familiar with Solabusca history, if you're familiar with tarot history, you will recognize this card as being very close to the old Solabusca tarot deck. Now that particular tarot deck disappeared from tarot history. It didn't influence any other decks until Arthur Edward Waite went to the British Library. He checked it out, and I do believe it was he who decided on the design of the Three of Swords, and Pamela Coleman Smith made her beautiful rendition. Now, in the Game of Thrones, this card becomes a little bit more specific to the Game of Thrones symbology. So you can see here, this is the burning heart of the god of fire. This is the burning heart of Melisandre's god. And if you look at the swords, you can actually recognize the one in the middle. It's Oathkeeper. It's Brienne's sword. And I have a personal hypothesis. It may or may not be true, but I think one of the other swords is Lightbringer. Who knows? You cannot always know these things. Now I'm gonna show you a relevant scene here. Okay, so this is Stannis under a tree. Everything is a disaster. It was snowing. It was snowing. Melisandre figures out, okay, so sacrifice your daughter Stannis and maybe it'll stop snowing.
I don't fight for the Boltons. I'm Brienne of Tarth. I was Kingsguard.
Melisandre advises him to sacrifice his daughter. He does. It doesn't stop snowing. In the morning, he finds his wife has hung herself. His daughter is obviously dead. And worst of all, the Red Witch has just gone on a horse and ridden away. And now he's being confronted, and he goes on, fights the battle, loses, of course. And now at the very end, he's wounded against a tree and is being confronted by Brienne of Tarth.
To Renly Baratheon. I was there when he was murdered by a shadow with your face. You murdered him? Blood magic? I did. In the name of Renly of House Baratheon, first of his name, rightful king of the Andals and the First Men, lord of the Seven Kingdoms and protector of the realm, I, Brienne of Tarth, sentence you to die. Do you have any last words? Go on, do your duty.
Oathkeeper is the name of that sword. So, if you examine the card, you can see that it's actually snowing. So, if this card represents a dream that was destroyed, this is Melisandre's dream. She has followed and trusted her visions that she's seen in the fire, the visions from the god of fire. Her dream is now decapitated by Oathkeeper, the sword wielded by Brienne of Tarth. And in the background there is snow. Remember, she got Stannis to sacrifice his daughter in order to end the bad weather. So, what does it mean to give up a dream? Obviously it can be painful, right? So the symbol couldn't be much clearer, 3 swords piercing a heart. But remember also Melisandre, she does go on dishonored, but she does go on, and she fights for the living. And also, all the fans of Game of Thrones are super grateful, because in that penultimate episode, or third to the last or something, I don't remember exactly which episode, but something in seventh season, when we couldn't see anything when we were trying to watch it on TV, because the cinematographer was really convinced that the darker the better, then we were really grateful, to the Red Witch, because she would go, "Oh, the night is dark and full of terrors," and then she would provide us with a little bit of light. So you can still be a hero. Okay, that's it for until next time.